Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns.
The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
I'm going to go. 98 to Mike. Hey, time. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98 to Mike.
They'll start with the option. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Play action. Now Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. You look at this Browns defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they've played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
3rd and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball. And on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him. And somehow he turned a short pass into a 1st down.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Man up, D. Man up, D. 198.
Jackson now. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, look at that. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch that in. Turn it right. Turn it. Free. Switch.
They'll set up to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Browns hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ben Mason, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, they weren't messing around. First and goal, they didn't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it, 6 points on the board. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there in just 4 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10.
Dragon 60.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Got it. Ready? Hurt. Hurt. Right there. Hurt. Go.
Back to throw now on first down. That's to his rookie wideout from Wisconsin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 on a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
That's going to be caught. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
70 Rangers.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Hopkins with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
On 2nd down, Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Steps away to his left, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Off the option, here's Henry, able to push his way through. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now an option play on 2nd down. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
First down carry for Henry. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. A quick throw there is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Here's Jackson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And this one is right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Gets past one man. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Ready, break.
Single, slop. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep.
On the jump.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Check smash.
Back to throw here. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
We've always got to remember that once the ball's in the air, the defender has every right to go after it that a receiver does. And that was a battle for positioning on that play. And in the end, he's able to force the incomplete pass.
Looking for Pryor long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
Check, Bobcat.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to let it go again. It's caught at the 10. And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I'll tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there.
70.
Everyone's got four down.
18 Rattler. 18 Rattler.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the second time of the ball game.
And Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 14-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Towers. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they run this to the 45. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And Jackson throwing once more. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Westbrook-Akine, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are once again back in front. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important...
Oh, this is blocked. The Browns have it. But he will not be able to bring this one back in the extra point attempt. Unsuccessful.
I need your help on this one. We just saw an extra point blocked. Do you think the rain had anything to do with it getting blocked?
Everything goes a little bit slower, but I'll tell you what, the snap and the hold, they look good.
Yeah, and most of the time, I love when you bring that up about it getting slower. It's deliberate when it gets slower, right? Because you have to go through it a little bit more. You want to be just a little bit more careful catching the ball, putting it down, and giving him a chance to kick it.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the... Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. 53 yards. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their mobile quarterback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
It'll be a big turnaround. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Maybe time for 1 play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25, so at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Throwing is Jackson. And Walker has it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan... And we'll jump right over halftime to keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff, ready to go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. So here are the Browns to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well.
Let's go now. 70 Timberwolves.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking for Pryor long. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they took their shot. That one was kind of up for grabs that time. And you've got to be careful defensively not to make contact too early. But that was textbook right there to get in tight and force the incompletion.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Looking for Pryor long. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
We got 3. Go.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and throw for it here. This one downfield for Tillman. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. It would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. In that situation, I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea. Yeah. And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones.
And he's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up second and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation, because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
On second and goal, here's an option play left. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And no sidestepping that hit. He's going to be brought down hard, and it also sets up fourth down.
Brandon, a good idea there on third down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they're coming off a fourth down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they wanted to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on fourth down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off the points for themselves.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
Out of the gun now on third down. Buying time to his left. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So not only do they get the completion and the conversion there on third down, but tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Yeah, they had the first down anyway, had that in their hip pocket, but now with that penalty yardage, that turns out to be a pretty big play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10.
Panther Street! Panther Street! Let's go, let's go, let's go! Ready!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Third quarter of a 2-point game. A good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in the stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Boy, how about that one? He reeled it in one-handed for a touchdown. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes this a 9-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board. 3 points is 3 points. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action with Jackson. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 62 yards. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize. But when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way to the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
tight. 19 tight. Hey, check that. Street. Check 52.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Tie your right. 19 light.
On second down now, it's Burns. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On third down, Burns. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to skim the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, it's Burns. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run.
Let's go now.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Burns sheds off the tackle. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The 71 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Ready, set.
All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10.
Ready, go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey. You got 3. Three down.
They'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Well, this drive, they're perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Browns will add to their 4th quarter lead. So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now a conversion to make it a two-score game and a solid lead.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down. Now Jackson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On third down, Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to fourth.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Watch 98. Watch 98.
Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. That's caught. It's Flowers. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. 77 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
3 down, 3 down. Ready.
On play action, they'll throw. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. He'll start with a give to Henry. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. 2nd and 6 coming up.
Push him back. Report. 198.
To throw is Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Here's 1st down. Now Jackson. Quick throw there is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Throwing, Jackson. They're looking deep here for Flowers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Browns are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Showed off the power, but not much room to run. Brought down at the 5. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Check. Cup 19. Go.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have the Browns 1st down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory.
Here we go. Set. Rock all 80.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Let's go.
14-yard line, second and 11.
Seven Pirates.
Up the middle they go. It's Burns fighting through the tackle at the 30. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
4 down.
Ready.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about taking a knee at the end? And there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about taking a knee at the end? And there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late. And they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for the Browns, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.